We've had a little bit of moisture finally, and in the picture here, we have some globe mallow. It's got these really pretty little orange flowers. Very sweet plant. It's growing in the gravel. I don't care. I kind of like it in our driveway. And so that is growing. And then these are such pretty little flowers. A welcome sight after a long winter and a long period of drought. Over here, these are the snowberries. Don't have the flowers on them yet, but they have leafed out really nicely. And here on the corner, I have a beautiful antique rose. And this antique rose is a cutting that was taken from a friend's house who bought an antique old house over in a town across the state line. And she shared some of the plants that had been growing there from the lady that she bought the place from. So that rose, she said, was at least 80 to 100 years old. And this was one of the cuttings that made it. I had a couple others, tried them in different spots, and they didn't do well. But this one has just done so well. I've got it in the cage right now to protect it because of deer, and something has already nipped off the ends there. But overall, it's looking pretty good. It's already got some flower buds on it, and it's spread quite nicely. So I'm really excited. I've never seen it look so good. Then in this spot, we're going to be planting some things that I have coming from we have a regional nursery that you can't visit, or you may be able to visit, but it's not open to the public for shopping. You have to shop online, but all the plants have been cultivated to survive in the high desert climate. And it's called High Country Gardens. And they're guaranteed, and they are beautiful regional plants local to the area that are gonna just, I think, look wonderful on this property. So I'm kind of deciding, but I'm thinking in that corner right there where I just was showing you next to that rose bush, that I want to create some garden space here and put some of those there. The one that is, I got a collection of 4 plants in the Agastache family. I'm not entirely sure if I'm saying that right, but it was the specialty of the guy who started that nursery, and he cultivated these and made them very hardy and beautiful plants. So this is their lineage, if I can call it that. So I'm looking forward to getting those. Those will ship probably May the 1st, about then, because they want to make sure that they avoid any freezing of the plants. Now over here, I have one that I really would like to show you. And this is our native New Mexico flower. Look at this beautiful stalk. These are the flower buds. This is going to open up into the really pretty white. It's going to have this really pretty stalk of white flowers on it. Excited about that. And then we planted a wind block. That is what this kind of semicircle of Leyland cypress trees are. So I'll turn this way so you can see better. So we have them all in the wire cages because the deer and the elk were eating them, and they're not generally prone to eat this kind of tree. However, it's been so dry, it was the only thing that was available to them that had moisture. So this is the beauty of the bunch right here. Very happy tree. I'm guessing it has some very happy soil underneath it. Don't always get that, but that tree is taller than me. It's probably, see, this is 6 feet high. So that's how tall the tree is. It's reaching above that just a little bit on the top side. So here's our wind block. We have the native pinyon pine, one of the few remaining living ones, because we have a massive die off going on right now. And the Leyland cypress trees making a nice little semicircle around the house and giving us some level of protection with that. So, oh, my ultimate favorite tree is the Fat Albert. I don't know if you can see why, but it is a fatty. I love this tree. So this is a 4-foot chicken wire cage. That's what we originally had around the other trees. So that tree is going to be a beautiful big tree, and I can just envision how this is going to look in the next 5 to 10 years as these trees grow and just fill in this space and make a lovely border around this house. A couple of other trees that we planted. So last fall we did 2 big tree plantings, and this one's kind of sad, honestly. I'm bummed about it, but I am hoping for the best on it. It's a locust. It's a locust tree, and this one is the honey locust, named for the yellow leaves. So it is leafing out, but it's only leafing out in the bottom half for some reason. So the top half was eaten by the elk, and I expected that it was going to stunt it and that it may have another stalk that takes over as its primary trunk, but that's still yet to be seen. So I'm not quite sure. It's trying to live, so it's going to get a chance. What I have around it are these are natural juniper stumps that were on the property. So in addition to the wire fencing that's around it, that is short enough that the elk could still reach their long necks and nibble on the tree, I added a ring of these stumps to give a little bit of extra depth and jaggedness to the boundary. And I know that the thing with deer and elk is that a 3-dimensional barrier is more effective than a 2-dimensional one. So keep that one in mind about something about protecting your plants. Go 3-dimensional, give it some depth, and that will help. I have another one of these New Mexico natives. So yeah, those are all going to be in bloom soon. So I'm looking forward to that. I will try to get out here when they open up. That'll be pretty. Red Hill, the namesake volcano, the beautiful scenery that we have all around us. It is just so pretty, and that right now the temperature outside is gorgeous. I needed to get outside and get a little bit of sunshine. The second tree that we put in, I am really excited about this one. This is in the locust family also. It is the purple locust, purple robe locust. And I will show you, it already has some purple blooms on it. So we planted these last fall, put them in the ground, and look how beautiful this one is. I would say that's got to be getting close to 12 feet tall. So that's a beautiful tree. I'm hoping and praying that the elk do not come and eat this one. So we need to get the tractor out and go do a roundup of some more stumps, which we have plenty of land to roam and find stumps. This is my mulch pile. I will do a separate video on mulching here in the high desert. I have learned a very important lesson about mulching here. And that is that the type of the tree used can make or break your garden. And I went into this thinking mulch is mulch. It doesn't matter. It's going to break down. It's going to serve as some good organic matter that will help enrich the soil. But I found that I have learned since by taking some classes through the extension service that we have through the university in the state, that the pine and the cypress doesn't do the same thing that deciduous tree mulch does. So when it breaks down, it releases natural tannins and oils that go into the soil around it and prevent life. Which, as you can see around this one and all of them, there is essentially nothing that lives underneath the trees. That is, by the way, in the distance, that white is our leach field. But these trees are made for that. So they're made to inhibit growth around them. All right, so I want to show you the backyard orchard space that has leafed out, flowered out, and budded and turned into fruit. Let me see what I can do here. There's little Olive. Hi, little Olive. Hello. Love having the cats out helping me in the garden. It is just so much fun. So here is one of the apple trees. We put this one in 2 fall seasons ago. I do not see any potential apples on this tree yet. This is a Fuji. I've left the tags on them. I'm going to put some labels out. I'm going to with some signs in a bit. But I'm wanting to train it to trellis. So this is one that can be done that way. I'm already working on that here with training it on this stake system that I've kind of put together. But I want to do some sideways ones as well. But I don't see that we're going to get apples off of that one. This other apple tree, Pink Lady. This is sad. Look at her. I don't know what's wrong. But she does have some down at the bottom. So she's not dead. The branches are not crispy. See, they're still flexible. I don't know. Maybe she will in later. Maybe she will do something in it later this year, or maybe give her another year. I don't know. I'm not going to just rip her out. This here is grapevine that I'm training to go up that little trellis and the fence. And last year it got eaten down with so many things by the rabbits that are all around us. And this year I have 3 cats that really like the taste of rabbit. So that has been a huge help. And I'm having a much more success in the garden after having rabbit controls in place. So, and having 3, I think, has made a difference too over just having the one that we did before. So in the little, a big picture view of that, there's Fuji, there's Pink Lady. I had pumpkins growing last year, and so I left the vines on the ground to give it a little bit of more organic material, mulch a little bit, and I've planted some pumpkin seeds to see, to try to get another one. This is a boysenberry bush and hollyhock. Puts up some big, beautiful stalks of flowers. Oh no, somebody got the cherry off of the cherry tree, but look at all these beautiful cherries growing on this tree. So I'm going to get some covers for the trees so that I can have some of the fruits of my labor. Here we have irrigation set up. This is my husband's handiwork. So he's very proud of our little orchard too. Big picture again. This is the other cherry. That's a newer one. This one is more mature. It's been in the ground since 21, fall of 21. And maybe 22. But it's been a few years in the ground. So we're finally getting some fruit off of that. Over here I have 2 apricot trees. So I did 2 of everything. And check out the future apricots on this baby. So many. It had beautiful flowers all over it. This is another one I need to protect. And that one over there also has a few. It's a little baby tree still. And finally, this poor plant is a blackberry bush. And I transplanted it over here because it was not happy where it was. It wasn't getting enough sun. So I transplanted it over here because, like I said, it wasn't getting enough sun, and it is struggling here too, though. So I'm just not quite sure if it's going to make it or not, but we're going to give it a chance. It does have some new baby leaves coming. So, gardening is an exercise in hope and hopeful expectation that the fruits of your labors will come about. So this space behind me is a little island garden that I've built around the pinyon pine that was here, and I have some lavender growing. I have some decorative pieces, just trying to make it nice and pretty in here. Some red hot pokers here. And the iris, look at that iris. And we're still balancing watering with soil improvement and being conservative with our water usage. So the irises are there. They're still alive. Okay. Here is the big, long vegetable garden that this is 50 feet long. And then it goes out the side and around a little bit. And here I have a strawberry patch with just a few right now, but I'm going to get some more this year and fill this in. But I plan to be growing various onion. I want to do garlic this year. I've missed the opportunity for that for summer gardening. That'll be in the fall that I plant my garlic bulbs. But I do want to do onion and leeks and peas for my husband. He absolutely loves peas. He eats a ton of peas almost every day. So I want to do cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. I want to do an asparagus patch. Maybe that portion back there can be asparagus. I want to do a lot of those I know will be and end up being wintertime. I want to do various greens, and I currently have those in the next area that I'm going to show you that is being taken over by my raspberries, which is what I want. I want that whole area to become a raspberry patch. But in the meantime, I had greens planted in there, and they've been doing really well in that area. So do some greens here, and we'll see. I'll show you more as it goes along. I've been filling in with the soil bags, giving it an extra layer of good nutritious soil, and digging in compost to that. So I'll do a separate video on compost. There's my stray raspberry, and on the east side of my garden, I have all of these raspberry stalks coming in. Many of them are still kind of low to the ground, but it is spreading. It's just spreading, putting out little spitters all over the place. So the raspberry has been doing really well in this spot, and this is on the east side of the house. So it gets buffered from the extreme temperatures, the heat of the afternoon sun that we have in the Southwest, which is so intense. Even, plants that like a lot of sun will struggle under that intensity. And so it's in the afternoon shade right now. I'm filming this at about 2:30 in the afternoon. The wind also is another factor that it's buffered against the wind, which comes from the southwest, essentially. So the house is blocking all of that. So this has been a great area to garden, and and the cats like it too. So I have raspberries, and then in the lower area here, this is called Sweet William. And it puts up these really pretty little pink flowers. So, and they'll get to be about a foot tall with the flower stalks on them. So, it's a good companion plant. And the more things you can have growing, the healthier the soil is. I have a nice layer of horse manure that we put over the top of it. And so we did this whole section with horse manure from a neighbor's house. She kindly lets us come and she'll pile it up for us, and we take it off of her hands and put it on the garden. And so this one, I am not needing to do an extra layer of purchased soil because I was able to put that on it. So we did hay at the end of the year. Then we did this in the spring, and this is well-seasoned manure. So it has sat and broken down and it's not going to be too acidic for plants. In fact, they're absolutely loving it. And I will turn the camera around now and show you. So that is Swiss chard, and these plants have been in there for a couple of years now. So they are going to flower. I'm letting things flower because I want to take care of the pollinators. So this is collard greens. I have a little sign back here, which I need to redo all my signs. And it just gets bleached off and washed off over the course of the season. But those are some of my greens that like I said, I've let go to seed. I will hopefully gather some seed and be able to use that for some replants. So this whole section is the East Garden, what I call the East Garden. I created this chicken wire fence with some attractive border and gate. We have a rainwater catchment tank for collection here that is set up, and it's up high to be able to water this garden plus all the other plants. My keyhole garden is here. This is the most mature of the gardens. But here's the setup. So we have the tank here, the hose, and it's just gravity fed. And I have a rain spout that I can use here. So it turns on by moving that lever, which allows the water to come through. And it should be set, hopefully. It's not. There it is. That's the rainwater setting, so I can come out here and give things a good soaking. And this has essentially become my herb garden, perennials and herb garden. And this is how it looks at the end of April. Wait until another month. So yeah, this is that's how the garden looks just now at the end of April. And I'm excited to see it is coming in so nicely that it's going to be really lush when the time comes later this year. These are cauliflower plants that I put in last year, actually, and I never got cauliflower from them. But they're going to seed, so I shall let them. I don't know. What do you think? Is this one going to give me a cauliflower? Maybe. But I'm just wetting this down so you can see the horse manure, the horse apples on top. But I set this up as a keyhole garden because it wasn't originally, and I needed a pathway to be able to walk and get in here and access this garden space. And so through the process of trial and error, this is what I came up with. So when you're done, you just want to turn that back off and put any water drain out. And that is how it is done. It's so convenient once you get things established. And it is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie, to get it set up in the first place. But once you do, it takes on a life of its own. I have not had to do anything to this garden for it to look this amazing. because these are perennials. Here is rhubarb. Gorgeous, gorgeous leaves. Another rhubarb. This one is flowering, and I cut one flower stalk, but it's got another one. And this thing is just determined it's gonna flower. I have herbs. Dill is growing in here. I have to keep it covered to keep the cats out of it. Sage is under here, under the rhubarb. This is all hollyhock that will have the big, beautiful stalks, and it's already got some buds. More buds here. And then this was kale, which I am not going to repeat. I'm gradually shifting the garden over toward the foods that I wish to eat or tolerate better. That is one of those things, and since I'm leaning more into a paleo type of eating, which is meat and vegetables, mostly cruciferous vegetables, I'm really watching the starches also, so I won't be doing any potatoes, but I do like the fruit, especially when it's in season. So I want to maintain and continue growing fresh fruits and vegetables that I can eat, and my gardening has transformed as my diet has transformed. And I love having an herb garden here, so that will be so wonderful when it comes time for cooking and seasoning the dishes. So good. I love it. I love cooking. I'm trying to share more of my recipes with you as well. So gardening recipes, spiritual insights from a long life lived well, guided by the Spirit and His Word. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. It's been a pleasure sharing my garden with you. I hope you have enjoyed it as well. And please give me some feedback and let me know if you like this kind of content, how this comes across for you, and how you're doing with your high desert gardening. If you are doing that yourself, I would like to know any tips and tricks, and let's form a community around this. Okay, that's why I'm doing it. I'm learning, sharing what I'm learning with you, and let's all share together. Okay, God bless. Have a wonderful day, a beautiful spring.